Good morning. So let's sit. Take your time. Take a few deeper breaths. Even holding the ribs, filling the ribs, lifting the ribs. So take deep breaths, press the ribs and hands together. We'll arc over to one side just to stretch from the hip all the way up to the armpit. We come back to center. A little bit of movement as we go to the second side. Just giving the body a chance to open up and decompress. And then release the hands. And we'll close the eyes. Take your time just settling yourself. Let the belly relax and the shoulders relax, your jaw relax. Bring your attention back to your breath. Just noticing your inhalations and your exhalations. And we begin our practice by just slowing down, stopping in a sense. Tuning into how you're doing. How am I feeling today? What's moving through me today? And nothing needs to be fixed or even changed. It's just bringing our awareness, our attention to what might be there for us. This process of simply turning to, in a sense, to reality, to a deeper experience of reality. And I suppose it's so easy for us to get fixated on the external reality and the pull that has on our lives. If something is used to happening one way, it continues to want to happen that way. It's almost like it becomes a self-perpetuating process. And this pervasive fear, the polarization, the uncertainty of what's happening. It's almost for many of us that it got to the point, or it's getting to the point in which the external offers very little solace. Yes, the sun shines and some of us get to get out in nature, and there is obviously all of these beautiful moments to appreciate. But in some respects, the situation happening in the world at the moment has, in a sense, pulled the rug from beneath our feet. Some of the ways in which we created a sense of safety in our lives, the ways in which we thought the world was moving. So the invitation then is to turn inside. That so many of these spiritual traditions tell us that everything we need is already in there. And our practice is a process of becoming receptive to the deeper experience of ourselves. And again, so often, one of the reasons we don't do this work is that initially we tend to meet what is uncomfortable. Those frequencies within ourselves that are distracted, suffering, wounded. So our practice is to turn to this inner experience and to see if we can bring that sense of equanimity with us, that sense of allowing whatever it is that we're meeting this morning, whatever it is that's there for us to be there, with a sense that it's perfect as it is, even if it's difficult to be with. That we can hold all of that as it is in this moment. And we're learning something, all of us learning something about the transitory nature of our lives. The nature of all things to arise and to pass away. Day and night, light and dark, joy and sorrow. All of these polarities, these ever-shifting, changing sands. And our practice acknowledges and holds all of this change, but offers us an opportunity to move somewhere even deeper in terms of finding a sense of foundation. That the world at the moment offers us an opportunity to see where we've placed our trust, to recognize those sands are shifting and changing, and that maybe that sense of trust, safety, maybe we can bring it somewhere else. So let the attention be with the breath. And you simply observe your breath, arising, passing away, arising, passing away. This beautiful, simple practice of the observed and the observer. That the observed is the movement, the arising and passing away, the story of our lives. And the observer is the consciousness witnessing this dance, the eternal, the never changing. Inhale for 4 and exhale for 4. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 4. Stay with your breath. So letting the attention or the breath come back to its natural rhythm. The attention resting gently with the breath. And we bring the hands together in front of the heart. Obviously, this experience that's happening to us in the world is many things to many people. My feeling is, though, that among other things, there is some sort of a shift happening, some sort of opportunity, some sort of growth. And part of what is really challenging about that is it does mean that the sands are shifting beneath us. That we garner this sense of, okay, this is where I'm at, this is what's going on, this is what's going to happen tomorrow. And when that changes, we're left with both the challenge and the difficulty and the uncomfortableness of that, and yet also the opportunity for growth, for this unfolding to happen through us. And that ultimately this is why all of us are here, to walk this path of unfolding, this path of awakening more deeply to what it is that we are, why we're here, that our deepest capacity to love, to be in the space of the heart, our richest sense of freedom lies from taking this inner journey. That this is where our deepest contentment lies. And it means meeting ourselves, our stories, our habits, our patterns, and recognizing them for what they are, so that we can drop even deeper and we can identify with that deeper space within us, what the Buddhists call the ground of being. And the more we attune to play with, contemplate this aspect of what we are, this element of ourselves, in one way, the more we can stay open to whatever it is that might cross our path, the more we learn to really allow ourselves, we meet ourselves, we give ourselves permission to be where we are on our path, to be with our light and our shadow. So we're cultivating this quality of compassion, of self-compassion, self-kindness through these practices. And this is the quality that really begins to create something different in the world. This beautiful idea that compassion is not something that's given or received. It's not something that we do for another or do for. It creates an environment in which everything flourishes. And this is really the gift that we give ourselves through these practices. We just take the time, we give ourselves the time to sit with ourselves as we are. Some days it's comfortable, some days it's not. Even just a few minutes just to sit and be still and notice and acknowledge. And you might have to say, I don't feel very good today, or whatever might be there. But just that process, without having to fix it or change it, or just to see it, to be seen, to feel, to notice, to acknowledge. So to ourselves and to each other, to whatever it is that binds us, to the energy that moves through and articulates each of us, and to our practices that allow us to tune into this bigger energy, this bigger side of ourselves. To all of this we bow. So thank you very much. Thank you for joining me. So that's number 50. So we're going to take a break for a while. They'll stay up on YouTube if you want to go back and start doing some over the next while. And then we're going to start a month, a 30-day practice called the Poetry of Meditation for June. in which we will be using prose and poetry and contemplation throughout, woven through the practices. Um, There'll be an opportunity to sign up to that um, tomorrow. Um, it'll be up Wednesday night or Thursday morning. Um, it's going to be €90 for the month, which works out at about €3, or works out at €3 per meditation. For anybody who needs a scholarship, just let me know. I'll work that out. Not a problem at all. And we're going to do the meditations live at 8 a.m. each morning. So we do them live at 8 a.m. And there'll be details about that when you sign up. So I hope you're doing good, and if you're not, I hope you know it's going to be okay. And that's what we're growing within ourselves, each of us. And even though we're in our own spaces, um, we're connected, and all of us are tuning to a similar frequency, a similar vibration, turning in the same direction. So thank you so much for being here, for doing this practice. I'm really grateful to be able to sit and do this, and to know that you're there too, and that all of us are tuning into something common and creating something beautiful through that. So I hope you have a great day. Okay.